Yun lang. Nag-aantay lang kami kung ano yung best option and just talking with the camps of all the guys that's on the list.
In the meantime, you're staying in shape.
Of course, I'm always in shape.
Wait, last one. What do you think of the Pacquiao Ugas?
I think it's a great fight. It was good that Ugas came in the picture because he's still a very exciting guy. At the same time, there's changes, so there's a lot of the dynamic when it comes down to that. But I think it's going to be a very exciting fight.
Who would you pick?
Well, of course, I think the Senator has a great chance of victory, but of course, you don't want to give taking anything away from Ugas. Ugas is a champion for a reason, so he can also be a very dangerous guy. But again, we're just here to enjoy the fight with me and my wife to see how the fight's gonna go. And alam mo naman, sa boxing, things can happen if we're not careful.
Yeah.
Hey, Chan, what did you make of the Casimero-Rigondeaux fight?
There was a fight.
Yes.
We watched the fight, and I mean, that fight was just a fight. I mean, anybody can, Casimero did his thing. He tried to do his thing. Rigondeaux did his thing. So, there wasn't really much that they showed in terms of just playing cat and mouse.
Yeah, a lot of people, they said that after that fight, a lot of people said that they didn't even want to see Rigondeaux fight anymore moving forward. He just didn't want to engage. And when you fought Rigondeaux, it was far more exciting. Was it something that you did that forced him into the fight, or was some lack that Casimero did that didn't force the fight? What was it about that? You was in an action-packed fight.
Definitely, because I cut the ropes. I came out there. I made myself vulnerable. I wasn't afraid to get hit. I wasn't just showing things. I was trying to go out there and win the fight. And that's what it was with my fight. Was I came in there to cut him off. I came in there to think, and granted, he still got me in a decision, but I made it possible for it to be a little bit better.
Right. Now, everybody wants to see a rematch with you and Inoue, and the build-up, with you and Casimero. Can you just attest to, I would say I got here a little late, that what took place, why that fight didn't come to fruition? Because, the people started to look forward to seeing you and Casimero, then it didn't happen, then we got Rigondeaux back again, and the possibility of the Inoue unification. But after that big win, you defied the odds. A lot of people had already, felt like you was past it. You defied the odds, you got a big victory. Just attest to those few things.
Well, you got to understand, I'm at the level now where whoever the fight is that I want is going to happen, or at least we're going to try to get it. So what we were trying to aim for was Inoue, and that was one of the things that I have as in my goal as a fighter is becoming undisputed, and one of the belts Casimero had. So we made the fight, made the fight happen to me and Casimero, and all of this BS came about. Disrespecting came about. I'm not all about that. This is a sport that I love, and I will not stand for anybody tarnishing my sport. Yeah, you can talk crap. Say it to my face.
Right.
I'm talking about my wife, talk about my kids, talk about all this stuff. Come on, man, be a man.
Right.
Say it to my face. I never said nobody. I didn't say it to anybody else. I didn't say nothing to him. All I want to do is I made the fight happen. Let's just go in the ring and take it to his ass. That's it.
Right.
But why would you bring all this stuff up?
Right.
I don't get that. So you know what? I said, I'm gonna call it. I call this fight. I can take this fight out anytime. And he called my bluff. Or he thought I was bluffing.
Right.
He thought I was bluffing. But my wife said, we can take this out if you ain't gonna straighten up. And then it's like, go ahead, let's see what you do. And of course, my wife went to work. She makes things happen. She's a magician.
Right.
If the thing is, again, people don't understand that I was the one that made the fight possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was the one, or capable of taking away, because the fact that this is not boxing. Mm-hmm. I came to the excitement that, oh man, two Filipinos are fighting championship that never happened before, where people can see it. And I was excited. I have so much respect for that. And then what did they do? They started talking all this crap, all this mess, talking about my wife, talking about all this stuff. And again, man, I'm not all about that. As you know, I'm the kind of guy who have respect for people. I'm the kind of guy who has respect for the sport. Everything that I am is because of the sport, and I'm not about to tarnish the sport by playing the game of talking crap and be ignorant about it and be a street thug. I'm not a thug when it comes down to it. I love the sports. I'm gonna keep the value of the sport by not falling for their stuff. Now, if they want to make it happen, follow my terms. Let's make it happen. It has nothing to do with it. If you can do it, we'll fight.
Right. And it was all about him not wanting to take the test, right?
Well, it's not even about that, right? At first, there was a lot of things, and that's one thing that has to happen. You know, it's like, look, if you got no problem, just fucking take the test, man. No one's doing it. You know.
Right.
I'm willing to do it. Everybody's, you know, who I fought has done it. Never said anything else. You know, if you guys want to play mind tricks, I'm not playing that game.
Right.
All I want to do is get that belt, fight into it. That's my biggest thing. Be undisputed. There's never been a Filipino that's undisputed, and I'm gonna be the first.
And now we need fighters like you that are legends, because you're already a legend. Your legacy is already set in stone. Everything else you're doing right now is just cherries on top, right? You're already a multi-division world champ. You're already an icon in the sport of boxing. But we need fighters like you to speak out more and stand on your square. You know, you stood on your square. You know, you know who you are. Obviously, you know your legend, your status in the sport of boxing. But just attest to that. You know, because a lot of fighters, they won't do it. They'll walk away, but they won't say anything. Right. You know, you spoke up. Can you attest to that?
So this is my thing. I have an integrity to follow. I have my character to be aligned with. Whoever's tarnishing and talking crap about my wife, I'm gonna stand for it. Now, do I get to beat him up? And you know, it's easy to do that.
Right.
You know, it's easy to knock them out. It's easy to win the fight. What comes after that? They still get paid, right?
Right.
But one thing that I want to bring, and this is my part of being a fighter and being a fighter that I am, is am I willing to give the next generation to tarnish the sport that I love and ruin this sport?
Right.
You know, you get people who does stupid stuff, and now people don't even want to watch the fight anymore.
Right.
People, they think that it's okay to do this and do that. I mean, I guess it's part of the sport to talk crap. Just do it. Do it in front of me. You know,
Right.
I ain't got nothing, no problem with it. All there is for me is setting a good example and standing on my own, on what I believe in my integrity. You know, I don't stand for bullying. I don't stand for anyone tarnishing the sport that I love, and mainly I don't stand for any type of calling out women, calling out Asian women, you know, or just the prejudice, or just looking down upon other people. You know, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my wife. You know, I gotta give credit. You know, it's so easy to say, oh, I fought, I won. They don't know what goes behind me. They don't know that my wife cooks for me. They don't know that my wife cleans the house. They don't know that my wife takes the kids to school, do their homework, do this, that, do that. You know, I'm not gonna say that I did all that, because I didn't. You know, for anyone, and she stood by me throughout this whole time, 13 years together, from the very get-go. She's been there, shut her mouth if I tell her not to say anything. You know, it's my turn to give back to her. It's my turn to protect her as she protected me. And I'm not gonna stand anyone belittling what my wife has done for me.
And that's respect. And one last thing. The fight with you and Inoue was a surprise again. A lot of people had already written you off. And you come in that fight, and that's the toughest fight of his career, and still holds stand today. What would you do different in a rematch?
A lot. A whole lot different. I think that, as you can see, the difference between my last fight, granted it's not Inoue, but the whole thing is I've learned a lot from it, and I was inspired by it, and now I can go to the gym and be inspired, not just because, oh, I've done it for a long time and I got something to prove. You know what? I'm inspired, and I'm grateful for that experience. And there's going to be a lot different fight. I guarantee that.
Do you think Manny's should he be victorious? I expect him to be victorious.
I think a lot of people are expecting him to be victorious, but I don't know, I guess, again, you know, anything can happen in boxing. Ugas is a tough guy. He stands there, he'll do that, whatever he needs to. But I think overall, I think Manny being very mobile, very just being Manny, you know.
Now, you know, there was a little bit of letdown that Errol Spence got injured, you know, and there's a lot of talk that Manny this could possibly be his last fight. Do you see him? I asked him yesterday. He said he wanted to fight Errol Spence. He wanted to fight Terrence Crawford. He wanted to go out with one of the big names from this era. Do you think he calls it quits? And what do you think about Errol Spence's injury?
I think that anything can happen. You know, glad that he was able to find that before anything can happen. You know, that can ruin his whole game, his career. You know, glad that he was able to do that. But I mean, it's easy to say I gotta stop now when everybody's telling me to, but then there's still that desire. As long as that desire is there, it's really difficult to say goodbye to the sport.
Yeah, I mean, Manny got a lot going on. He's looking to run for president. You know, that takes a lot of focus for him to participate in this sport and do that.
A lot. That's a lot. You know, I can't say I've been there because I haven't.
Right.
You know, but from just the look of it, it's a very, very busy lifestyle.
Right.
And it can take a lot out of you, mentally and physically.
When you guys go back home to the Philippines, how is it for you and Manny Pacquiao?
We're good. We're cool. You know, again, my dad's in his corner. You know, he's with them all the time. You know, he brought my dad over here, so you know, the friendship is there, and it's just different when it comes down to it. You know, so.
I appreciate you, champ.
All right, man.
Blessings to you.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Stacey of Bumgarner, you're watching Blue Bud Sports TV.